Hello everyone again and welcome to GMCT, where we do movie reviews, celebrity gossip, and we talk about trendy topics. Now let's go. So today we are doing a series review on the Disney Star Wars Kenobi 1. So, which is Obi Wan. So let's get into this. But before we start, I like to let everybody know spoilers ahead. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen this series and you want to see it, please go and watch it in the Disney app, the Disney channel or app, whatever you have, service. With that being said, let's get into this because I wanted to put out spoilers first. I don't want you to be surprised. So, because this is a movie review. So, let's get this started. So, in the beginning of the scene, you see like some Jedis in training, like little Jedis. And then at the same time, you see stormtroopers like literally barging in and a fight broke out. Some children actually escaped. Then 10 years later, you see there was another planet. I don't know what is the name. I had to do a research, but I didn't. But they showed another planet. And then we see in the first scene the Inquisitors. Now, the Inquisitors were looking for the Jedis. They were hunting for Jedis. And the thing is, they believe that you don't need to hunt for Jedis. They hunt themselves because Jedis are they like to help people and they like to be self-righteous and they can't stand when they see people going through suffering or any other thing. So they like to help, which is the Jedi's weakness. But among the Inquisitor in the first scene, you see a woman named River. Now, River is actually a Jedi, but she's working as an Inquisitor as well. Now, isn't that is so surprising? But at the same time, we'll get into more details because in this series, it said that many Jedi's actually joined the Inquisitors and literally start hunting other Jedis, which I find it very, disturbing. And, I kind of feel sorry for the Jedi after that. So while they went into the bar looking for the Jedi, asking questions, and at last they found a Jedi because River literally used her powers. Then the Jedi try to stop try to actually save somebody, therefore revealing himself to the Inquisitors, and they had to chase him down. But he escaped. River wasn't happy with that. So let's get into the next scene. This is the first scene that we see Obi-Wan. So in this first scene where we finally see Obi-Wan, he was working in a meat factory, and at the end of the day in this first scene, we see a man being treated badly, and normally Jedis are known to be selfless and they will actually try to protect people. But in this scene, he held back from literally defending the man or saving him. So he just held back and did nothing at that moment. Therefore, later in that scene, later he went back home. Literally, we now notice he lives very far away from where everybody else lives, which is close to it is actually a desert where Obi-Wan lives with his. And then we saw some scenes. We cannot go through every topic that goes in there. You can always go back and watch. So I'm just gonna do my best. With that being said, let's get back to it. So when he got back home, he made something to eat for himself. And later on, in the next scene, he was trying to bargain for buying spare parts with another creature. I can't remember the name, but I'm pretty sure if I'm doing a review again, I am going to check for the name. But he was trying to buy some parts and they were just negotiating. With that being said, later on, cut to that, he actually met the Jedi that was running away from the Inquisitors. And the Jedi asked him to help him escape, which Obi-Wan refused and asked him to bury his lifesaver and stay hidden. So the next scene, we see another planet. It was like a royal family. The royal family name Organa. Is it Organa Royal? Yeah, it's the royal family name Organa. Now there is this little girl. She's 10 years old and she's actually a princess in this new planet and well dressed. But this is when you start this particular scene, you see there was a little other, I don't know if it was a boy or a girl, but another creature. I'm pretty sure I will have to learn the name of these creatures as well. Now, with that being said, it was a disguise. I call this scene impersonation and disguise because the child that was being dressed at the time was not is it Leia? It was not Leia. It was somebody else that Leia tried to, you know, to disguise so that she can run away and hang out in the woods, because it's like she doesn't really like hanging out in the palace. But at the same time, they were supposed to meet the royal family and the other people. They had like a ball, but later on the mother noticed she wasn't the one. It was another child on disguise, so she had to go look for her. The mother named Bria. Now Bria is before you ask, Bria is Leia's mother. So we are gonna cut to the next scene. So after Bria took Leia back into the palace, you can see a man standing in the shadows. Then it cuts to the next scene. Now the next scene, we go back to the meat factory where Obi-Wan was, and then he was like walking away from the meat factory, and he met a man called Owen. Now Owen, I think his nephew is supposed to be training with, Obi-Wan when he reaches the age. Now, Owen was not happy with Obi-Wan telling him he doesn't want him anywhere close to his nephew and all of that he should stay away from the nephew. Meanwhile, Obi-Wan was saying he needed to learn, but Owen was not having it, being that there is the fate of a Jedi it's not a fate that anybody would want for their nephew or for themselves. So after he gave Obi-Wan the parts that he bought as a present for the nephew, he gave it back to him. Walking down in the middle of the town square, then you see the Inquisitors coming again. This time it was Riva. So Riva found Owen and she was asking everybody in town if they have seen a Jedi, because let me tell you this time, Riva is specifically looking for Obi-Wan, but their troop, they are just in the group, they are looking for any Jedi at all, but she is more interested in looking for Obi-Wan. And at this point, she's very desperate to look for Obi-Wan, but at the same time, she wants to leave that planet because she said it feels of stench, and she didn't want to be there anyways. But she got angry, and then she turned to Owen, threatening his life, asking if anyone have seen the Jedi that flee away the last time. If you remember the first time we talked about the Jedi that ran away from the Inquisitors. So she was trying to find this guy and she wasn't having it. She was threatening everybody's life, almost killed Owen in the process. But Owen even did not give up Obi-Wan. He kept his mouth quiet and didn't say anything until the other Inquisitor, like the commander of the troop, came to River and said she's getting, I think it was, no, this not the commander. The next, I think his River's teammate came to her and said she's getting out of hand, she's dangerous, and she's almost gonna kill people out here just because she's looking for Obi-Wan. Therefore, she did not kill anyone, luckily. So luckily, everybody was alive. She had to walk away with her teammate, but she was still mad because she couldn't find Obi-Wan and she wanted to leave that planet so bad. Now we're back to the palace where Leia is. Now, you can see the ball, you can see Leia with some other kids, like the cousins, and they were like having an argument because Leia actually said thank you to the robot for actually giving her something, and the cousin was like, why do you have to thank it? It's a lower life form. But Leia wasn't having it, so she said, well, I can also not be nice to you because you could also be a lower life form. The cousin therefore said that she was an original Organa princess, but she wasn't having it, and she literally dragged the cousin for filth and told him he just wants to serve and look good in his father's eyes and to be and he just wants other people to fear him, therefore hurting the cousin's feelings. The next scene we see where the parents, Leia's parents, literally took her back to the room, and they were trying to ask her to go ask the cousin to go ask the cousin for forgiveness and apologize for what she said to him, but she argued that she didn't want to. With that being said, the dad was trying to like talk some senses into her, but she wasn't having it. She wasn't having it. She even argued that she didn't want to be a senator, and the dad was like, trying to encourage her with encouraging words. Leia actually then later on accepted that she was gonna go apologize, but little Leia did not go to apologize. So the next scene, we see Leia running into the woods instead of going to apologize to her cousin. While she was running, she came across a man standing close to the tree, and she was like, why are you here? The man didn't mean no good because they were bounty hunters, they were kidnappers as well. So when Leia finally found out that they were there to attack and to literally kidnap her, she ran deeper into the woods and they pursued her. Even when one of the guards came to rescue her, the guard actually lost his life and Leia was actually kidnapped. Now you can see in the next scene, you can see Leia's parents reaching out to Obi-Wan, asking him for help if he could go and rescue the daughter, and he was not in the mood, telling them he cannot risk his life and he cannot do so, therefore turning them down. Then the scene cut to back in the meat factory, then later in the town square. In this scene, we finally see the Jedi, the first Jedi that asked Obi-Wan for help, being hanged, and he died. Obi-Wan just standing there watching the body. Now we cut to the next scene. Now this next scene, when Obi-Wan returned to his place after seeing the Jedi hanged, he finally met somebody in his room, but he didn't know who it was, but it turned out to be Leia's father. He actually came in person to ask for Obi-Wan's help. So he came to ask for Obi-Wan's help to save her daughter, to go and rescue his daughter, Now the next scene, it cuts to us seeing Obi-Wan back in the desert. And this time he was digging for his lifesaver, which actually meant that he had accepted Leia's father's request to rescue her. So later on in the scene, you see him boarding the ship to go to the next planet in rescue of Leia. Now, before we continue, I should let you know that this was actually a trap by River. River actually planned this kidnapping so that she can actually fish out Obi-Wan. So she organized and orchestrated this kidnapping of Leia so that she knew that when Leia is kidnapped, Obi-Wan will show up trying to save and rescue her, just like what the Jedis are known for. Okay, so he arrived in the next planet. The next planet name is Dayu. I actually wrote that one down. So he was looking around and asking people about if they have seen Leia or if they have any information about her. And if you look around the environment in Dayu, is not a very nice planet. It looks rough and rugged. And you can even see stormtroopers navigating around the area. So yes, it was not a safe area for Obi-Wan. So later, the next scene, we see a guy called Aja. Now, in this next scene, he was like orchestrating, pretending to be a Jedi, but he was doing this by helping people but faking it and getting money out of it at the same time. So his full name was Aja Estria anyway. And he was a fake Jedi, but he claimed he was helping people move away from the planet. But by but with a price. So if you need his help, you have to pay for it. Yeah, so you have to pay for his services. So after the woman and her son left, Obi-Wan decided to confront Aja Estria and ask him for help, pretending as if he was not a Jedi and asking for help. So Aja, with his pride, was like so happy and he thought he was gonna fake his way through this, but Obi-Wan actually revealed that he wasn't an actual Jedi and said it looks bad that he is literally disguising himself as a Jedi, but he's a fake Jedi and making money off of it. Which Aja Estria said he helps people though, but he helps them for a price. Then Obi-Wan asked if Aja could help him locate Leia, which he actually did. So cut to the next stream, Obi-Wan went in search for Leia, which he went into this small, it was like a chemistry apartment. They were like having experiments. It was like a drug dealing warehouse, something so for like crooks and criminals. So he went in there looking for Leia. And he was confronted by two criminals which thought he was working because it was like they had a slave work in there. And they thought he was one of those people because they told him to go back to work. Therefore, he defended himself and fought them off. Later on, he found Leia, but she tried to escape. And then he had to tell her that he's sent from her father. Meanwhile, while he was explaining this to Leia, the kidnappers of Leia bashed in and they had a fight. And literally, he had to, I don't know what he did. He did something to them. It was like a gas, like something with smoke. And he and Leia actually escaped them while they lay down on the floor. It was like a gas. Yeah. So meanwhile, while he and Leia were running back, trying to board a ship to go back to the planet where Leia's parents are, Riva was not giving up yet. Yes, if you've forgotten, Riva is still looking for Obi-Wan. She hasn't given up. She has actually noticed that he was on the planet because she orchestrated the kidnapping and all of this. Even Leia's troop and commander finally noticed that they confronted her on the kidnapping of a senator's daughter. And she said, you know what we have done was I used the child as a bait to draw him out and he is here right now. And she was explaining that she wants to catch him for herself. The commander was not happy with River's ambition. He was like telling her she was from the goddess and literally degrading her. But River wasn't letting him put her down in any way. She was still very strong minded and she was not giving up at all on Obi-Wan. He even asked her to, step down, that he was gonna go and he was gonna capture Obi-Wan himself. But Riva didn't let that stop her. She decided to contact the bounty hunter again and decided to put Obi-Wan's information everywhere, literally putting a bounty on his head. So every bounty hunter had the alert. So with that being said, Obi-Wan's information has every bounty hunter has his information in Dayu. So he is being everybody is looking for him, everybody wants that bounty. So now they had to literally look for a disguise. He has to dress a certain way, and he had to literally dress Leia a certain way as well so that they couldn't be found. Also, they couldn't board a ship because the stormtroopers were there. Everyone at this point were looking for Obi-Wan and Leia. Then the next scene, you see Leia talking to Obi-Wan, at the same time him telling her to sit still. He was trying to get, I don't know what he was doing. He was tampering with the information from one of the bounty hunters that has passed away. He was just laying there. And, Obi-Wan was trying to, I don't know what he was doing, but his face was like projecting from the projector. Therefore, Leia found out that the reason why she was kidnapped was because of Obi-Wan, and she wasn't having it. She wasn't happy. She screamed and she literally ran away from him and said maybe he was the kidnapper, and she did not believe that he was the Jedi. So while Leia was running away, she stumbled upon another bounty hunter who found out she was the one and tried to hold her, like try to catch her. And, Obi-Wan came rescue her, and she continued running anyway. She even climbed the building and she was on top of the roof, like running away from him. And he was running after her and asking her to stop, that they have to be careful because, there were bounty hunters everywhere, everyone looking for them. Now, this is where the action, you see the lifesavers and the guns and everything came out. All of the weapons were drawn, and you saw the bounty hunters trying to catch them, shooting at Obi-Wan, and him trying to run after Leia, try to save her. At this point, it was like he was trying to save her and she was just running towards danger. Now, at this point, with all the commotion, Reva have now noticed that there was a commotion in another part of the town. So she was running to them at this point. In the next scene, we see Leia fell. She fell from the roof, falling down to the ground, and Obi-Wan literally had to use his Jedi, powers to make sure that she doesn't fall to her death, literally holding her on air, like she was like hanging in the air, and he just dropped her slowly, therefore going back and trying to take her back. And then that was when she actually followed him, understanding that he was actually a Jedi and also believing that he was a Jedi and following him. So while they were on the way running and trying to escape, they came upon Aja again. Yeah, you remember the fake Jedi guy? Yeah, that guy. So the guy found them and he actually helped them out. He even stopped somebody, another, person from actually taking them in. And he actually shot the bounty hunter that tried to take them in, and then offered his help and gave them, I think, a key to his ship and told them to go to the ship and, if possible, to leave, which he actually gave them the key. I was quite surprised. I couldn't believe the guy was so nice. He was actually genuine. Now, Obi-Wan was a little bit startled. He didn't believe. He said, "Why are you helping?" And then I just said, "If I knew who you were, I would have helped you anyways." Now, while they ran towards the ship trying to escape, River stumbled upon Aja, and Aja pretended to be, he actually pretended to be a Jedi, but he didn't know that River is actually a Jedi as well. And River was like, wait a minute, you are not a Jedi, you're a fake Jedi, okay. And she noticed that he knew something, and then she literally used her Jedi mind to literally figure out what Aja was hiding. So she figured out that he had helped Obi-Wan and Leia. So the next scene, you see River running towards, like she was running after Obi-Wan and Leia, and they were like trying to escape her. Obi-Wan was hiding Leia at the end. He even gave her the key to the ship and told her to go there and wait for him while he, escaped from River. So at this point, Reva found out that she could sense him. She could sense Obi-Wan, and she tried to convince him to give up and turn himself in. And he wasn't doing that. He was just hiding with his lifesaver. He even didn't fight her. At the end of the day, they almost came close to fighting. And River exposed the information that Anakin, yeah, Anakin, Skywalker is still alive. Yes, she finally revealed that Lord Vader survived and he's still alive, and she wants to bring Obi-Wan to him. And he shouldn't fear that she's not gonna kill him today, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna die someday if he meets Lord Vader. So at this point, Obi-Wan was struck, like he was in shock that Lord Vader survived and is still alive. At this point, so while River was trying to, tell Obi-Wan to to turn himself in, the commander from River's troop then came in, vouching in and telling her to step down, that he wants to be the one to bring Obi-Wan in as the commander and as the one in authority. River was not having this. At this point, they had a fight, and she actually, killed the troop commander. At this point, Obi-Wan found the small space to run away, so he took that opportunity and ran back into the ship where Leia was waiting for him, and the boat took off. Therefore, the last scene, you see River standing and screaming, "We will find you," and that is where that particular scene finished. So I'm gonna say this: did you enjoy this topic? Did you enjoy my review? If you did, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yes, I bring more content, and yes, we will be doing more in this channel. I will be talking more about celebrity news. Normally, I would do that, but for now, since we're still new, I am doing movie reviews, but later on, I'm gonna be adding other topics as well. So before you leave this channel, please press the like button and subscribe, and I will see you on the next movie review or celebrity topic or what's trending. So thank you all for being here with me, and I will see you on the next one. Have a great day and goodbye.